guess I was saying, what silly question do I want to ask you first? But I want to know. I guess you don't have to answer this, but I want to know. Well, yes, I'm asking you a question. I want to know if so, Mr. Johnson. I want to just know if you know what Mr. Johnson's first name is. You don't have to tell me what it is.
They haven't told me yet, so I keep saying his first name is Mister. You know,
That's what I said that to somebody. I was like, I wonder what Mr. Johnson's first name is, and someone said to me, "It's Mister." That's what it
yeah,
is.
that's what it is. Until they tell me that's his first name.
That's what I remembered when they like on The Simpsons when Homer was trying to figure out what his middle name was. It was like Homer J. Simpson he found out his middle name was J, like J-A-Y.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what it reminded me of. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson. So in the fire episode, an administrator tells Gregory that Mr. Johnson is, quote, the most well-adjusted man I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know if that is something that you took to heart or even considered, or is that just something that like one of those things when you hear something about a person that you are sort of surprised by?
No, he is the most well-adjusted person in the school. He knows everyone's business. He's there on time. You know, he knows. You know, and he has a besides being a conspiracy theorist, uh, I think he's probably the most sane person at Abbott Elementary.
Overlook overlook the conspiracies. Other than that,
Other than being a conspiracy theorist, you know, lizard people under the Denver airport. He's pretty straight other than that. He's pretty cool other than that, you know.
we're not, nobody, none of us are perfect. So,
Yeah, you know, everybody, we all have our quirks.
good God. Okay. I did want to ask, from season one. I mean, you were a real breakout. I feel like everyone was just like, and then did you see what Mr. Johnson did? So glad to see that you became a series regular for season two. And I just want to know if you could tell me how that felt, just because I was so happy to hear that
Oh,
news.
thank you. It was you know, I can't find words to describe it. You know, people always talk about blessings and things like that. There are things that are much bigger, I think. You know, this was after a long run of working of having series not series regular work of working on series. You know, I consider myself a working actor. That's all you ever want to be, and this
Mm.
was the most incredible, not just opportunity, but man, I get to work with some amazing actors, and when they elevated me to a series regular, I always felt like I was their peer, but this put me like, okay, I'm here now. I'm with
Mm.
group. It was a feeling that I can't describe, but it was oh man, my my wife cried, I cried, and my dog who's right here, she cried.
See, she's not yapping. She's just really excited that you're also a series regular. Yeah, that's funny. That's great. Speaking about the cast, I've said this. Well, I've mentioned this before, and I've interviewed some of your co-stars. That
Right,
I feel that Abbott is really leading the charge on this. Like, network sitcoms have been around for, you know, feels like forever, but I feel like there's been a real resurgence in people appreciating them and people making them appointment television.
right,
And I think that is a huge, I think it's really because of great ensemble work. And I
right.
think a lot of really great ensemble work coming out. And I guess, is that something that you particularly look for? Like, just having a lot of, I don't say a lot of people in the room, but I mean, that's not technically what an ensemble is. I just mean like this ensemble is just like boom, 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 boom. It's just sort of working collectively as a group. I don't think anyone does it better than Abbott Elementary. And I was curious, for you, if that's something you particularly look for. Is that something that you really, that you thrive in the room on that? I'm just going to keep rambling, so please interrupt me.
You you know, you want to work with the best actors that you can possibly work with.
Yeah.
I've taught you know, workshops and classes, and I always tell my actors, even if you're in this class, find the actor that has more experience than you. In
Mm.
this case, they have in terms of years, I don't think they've had more experience than me, but these are really fine actors that I work with. I mean, Tyler's been working since he came out of the womb, you know, and Cheryl, she's been around, she's been, she's finally gotten her due.
Yeah.
It's just, just really seasoned thespians, really fine actors, both stage and screen. And yes, you do look for that. You want to work with solid actors because they're going to be generous to you. They're going to make you look good, and they
Yeah.
do. Uh, and I look for that. I worked on a show years ago that Cheryl had been in, Ray Donovan, even though it's a different genre and it wasn't on network, but the acting, I may not agree with all of them on some things, but they were really great actors, and you look for that.
Yeah, like I have a theater background myself, and I remember whenever I was in a show and it was like, with a lot of people that I wasn't familiar with, I always felt like I would want to have an interaction, whether if I was on stage or not, with somebody that I would consider to be a really fine actor. Because if you think to yourself, if I can talk to them or act opposite them and I can like keep up with what they're doing, that's only going to make you better. So
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
feel like that every week. It's just like, I'm sorry, those teachers lounge scenes, like I could watch those on a loop for like 3 days straight because they're so freaking
They're fun, and there's good. It's great direction to Randall Einhorn. He has a rhythm that he likes to create, and he loves it when we're all together because now we're all bouncing off one another, and it's very funny. But the rhythm of it also. But man, when you're working in a scene, you're just so connected to one another. You don't. How do I say this? When I come home and I watch it, then I'm like, oh my God, how great this person is, or how, I'll see subtle things that Quinta may do, or Tyler may do, or Chris. Oh my God, some things that they do that when you're in the scene with them, because you're making it work, you're not really seeing it. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Because you're just in it and you're just doing the work. Then when you come out and watch it as a viewer or a civilian, as I would say, you go, oh my, look at the stuff that these people are doing. And it never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, I feel like it's the sort of like stepping outside of your body and seeing like the scope of everything. It's really
Exactly.
yeah. Right. For some reason, when I was rewatching some episodes and I got to the episode, I think it's early in season 2, when everybody's pitching their ideas for what to do with the grant money, and you and you and Janelle, and forgive me, I don't remember the name of the young student, are all sharks, and
Right.
hearing pitches. I was wondering, because Mr. Johnson and Ava are sort of outside from the teachers, what
Right.
sort of kinship Mr. Johnson might feel with Ava, even though he's way better at his job than she's better at. Yeah.
I always consider her my partner in crime. If I'm gonna have anyone to get into mischief with, or she's gonna have anyone to team up with her, it would be me. And so I kind of keep her at bay, but I need her. I need her sometimes, and she'll need me sometimes. And sometimes we'll collude, So that's the way I kind of feel the relationship is. They've written some things in the past to kind of indicate that, especially in the first season. Not as much in the second season, but I have to kind of keep that relationship. That's the way I feel about it,
Yeah.
I
don't know. Yeah, rewatching it, I had thought, even though you guys are sitting behind a desk, I was like, oh shit. what are they gonna do? Like I could just have an entire separate like web show about after school ends and you two just, I don't know, scheming and plotting. I would watch that, a lot of that.
Yeah, down in the dungeon plotting on. Yeah. She
that is
she's
that is
such a
if
great actress too. She's so funny,
Mhm.
man. And when you're in a scene with her, you really have to keep up.
Yeah,
You
I can
have
imagine.
to. She keeps it moving, popping, man.
Yeah. She has like a furious whirlwind energy that I feel is she's a character who knows who she is.
Right.
She can deliver that at all times, and it is like even intimidating as a viewer, where I would be like, I would get caught up in anything that she does because she would just grab me, scruff on my neck, and take me with her.
The one thing we have in common is that we feel the same way about the teachers. You know, we both think we're smarter, more, more grounded.
Yeah.
Even with Barbara, I love it when she and Barbara go kind of hand to hand because Barbara intimidates her.
Oh yeah.
It's a wee bit Barbara intimidates Ava, and I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I actually had wondered. I resisted asking this, but I'm bringing it up, so I guess I kind of am. I was like, I wonder who Mr. Johnson and Ava have the most contempt for. And I was like, it's probably Jacob. Yeah. He's a very easy to push around.
He is such a funny guy, man. Chris is an amazing actor. He's in New York right now doing King James. He's an outstanding actor and just so funny. And once again, timing wise, man, he'll do some things that I'll have to like hold my face, and especially if the camera's on me, to try not to laugh through the scene. I'm like, where did you get that from?
Yeah.
We did a high five on a scene where I won the football bet, and I came in with just a little. He said, "No, let's do it this way." Next thing you know, we were flying in the air and everything with the hands. I'm like, man, this dude he's got some great ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, something when Jacob hits with you, it makes the payoff even funnier. Like when you guys high five, it's like, wait, what is going on? Oh God. I feel like a lot of people were asking about relationship to the camera just because of the nature of the structure of the show.
Right.
And I feel like the great thing about Mr. Johnson, because like we've been talking about, is like a little bit outside, even though he's present. I guess I wanted to know from you, especially since we're in season 2 now, how do you think Mr. Johnson, I don't want to like say seeks out the camera, but I mean like, I feel like he's a little bit of a ham when the camera's on him. And I'm wondering how maybe his relationship with the camera has evolved since we're now in season 2.
It's growing, I'm gonna give it to you from two sides. As an actor, you're taught never to look directly into the camera or to play to the camera. And so that's an evolution for me. I'm still trying to become better at it. But when they give me the direction to play to it, I try not to hang out too long. But so if you're giving me that moment, why not have some? But it's still the hardest thing for me to do is to play to the camera. I've in other interviews, people ask me about that, and because it's so antithetical to what you're taught as an actor to do, and so I'm still getting used to it. I watched everyone, Barbara, Ava, Janine, all of them. Well, I'm calling them by their character names. They're just like, okay, the camera's here. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with it, and they play to it. And I chose in the first season that this camera is a nuisance.
Yeah,
they're in my way. You're in my way of doing my work, and so I'm learning more and more that to have more fun with it as a character and as Stan Davis.
Yeah, because I think it's so fascinating because I had the pleasure of speaking with Randall last year, and he really opened my eyes to how it's not just a camera that's in the room. Like everyone's relationship with it starts one way. It's sort of like there's a separate character arc with everyone's how to look at it, how much the camera lingers on them before it cuts. I think that's really cool. But I do think the Mr. Johnson, every time you have like, even if it's like 2-second confessional moment, it's always like the greatest, funniest payoff every single.
Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like Mr. Johnson does, in a way, like wink at us more than a lot of the other teachers feel they are allowed to.
Right.
Just because, yeah.
Someone told me that they thought my greatest moment playing to the camera was when Jacob and I are in my room with the cat, and he's telling me, and I give the camera a little side eye. And I didn't realize that, it's just that, that this guy's nuts, and you know how it is. And then I understood that, okay, play to the camera like it's just another person in the room. dealing is what's up with this guy, you know.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm learning, I'm getting better at it.
Okay, cool. Um, we started with a silly question. I'm gonna end with a silly question.
Okay.
I think one of my
The silly questions are cool. They're fun.
I wanted to know if if he runs again, if Mr. Johnson would vote for Kanye in 2024.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The reveal that he said like Mr. Johnson voted for Kanye in the last election. I wanted to know if given the chance, if he would vote for him in 2024.
Probably.
Ah!
Probably. You know, Kanye makes the most sense to him. Kanye
Mhm.
the better argument. He has you know, and you know, he tells everyone that he's a genius. So, you know, Mr.
Mhm.
Johnson thinks he's a genius, so they have a lot in common.
Gotta leave with that confidence, man. That's it. Shit.
Oh man, you're making me laugh, man. Kanye, oh my God.
I do remember when I was watching that episode when it comes out that he voted for him. I remember there were a couple of people at our house, and when it's revealed that he did, someone at the house, I can't even remember who it was. They were like, "Oh my God!" Oh God.
That is funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir. Really rooting for you to get nominated this year just because it's great ensemble work. You make me laugh. Just you don't have to say anything. Just give me a look, raise your eyebrows. So thank you so much for your time and good luck to you this season.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.